The compulsive overeaters among us face the streets of the city as a junkie would face a legion of drug pushers.
Food junkies.
I can't stop at just one cookie. I was not only eating for hunger, but I was eating for a lot of unresolved feelings.
If this seems familiar, don't let this happen to you.
I couldn't move hardly. And why? Because of food.
Watch Louis Young's special report, Food Junkies, starting tonight at 5:30.
First place for Flashdance, 7:30 tonight.
Geraldine, are you sure I can't get anything for you?
That's the third time you've asked me.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Now, see here. I know that you have something very disturbing on your mind, and if you'd rather wrestle with it alone, I'll understand.
No, dear. I don't want to be alone. I mean that. You have my undivided attention. Now, tell me about your visit with Sky, and what is this about WMON?
I'll tell you in one sentence, and then we'll get back to what's bothering you. I have bought the station from my nephew.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Now, that's all that can be said about that. What's on your mind? Now, come along, dear. They say confession is good for the soul.
Yes, you're right. I am disturbed. I'm rather unnerved about, about a new development regarding David Cameron.
Mr. CEA? Yes, well, he's not my all-time favorite bureaucratic type, but never mind that. What about him?
Well, Mike had a rather shocking thought. He thinks that David Cameron trumped up the espionage charges against Sky.
What do you mean, trumped up the charges?
He thinks that Cameron himself planted those documents in Sky's safe.
Planted them? Nancy, well, that's the most monstrous thing I've ever heard. Is Mike absolutely certain
No,
about that?
almost.
But why? Why would Cameron do such a thing?
Well, to put Sky under obligation to him to do anything he wanted him to do.
But that's blackmail.
Well, of course it is, but it's just another typical tactic that he's been using all along in this case.
Does Skyler know about this?
No, he doesn't. Oh, Geraldine, I probably shouldn't have said anything. Mike is going to be very upset if he finds I mentioned a word.
You needn't worry on that score, my dear. It isn't the kind of thing I'd like to share with anyone else. At least not until Mike can verify it.
Yeah. Mike wants to confront him with it. So that's where he is right now. He went to talk to him about it.
Over here, Mike. You certainly picked a deserted spot for this meeting. Not a very safe one, either. I've been wandering all over this park trying to find you.
Oh, I'm sorry. It never occurred to me. I was just trying to find a spot where we wouldn't be interrupted. Well, what's on your mind? You sounded very disturbed on the phone.
You're right. I am.
Well, let's hear it. What's this truth you think you know about me?
I now know that you framed Sky with me.
Oh, no, really, Mike. Wait a minute.
I've got it all figured out, David. From the very beginning, there's been the nagging question of how Ian Devereaux could have gotten his hands on those documents and placed them in Sky's safe. Now I know he didn't. You did, because you have access to the most sensitive material of the CEA. And how could Ian have known the combination to Sky's safe? Again, he didn't, but you did because Sky provided it. You removed the incriminating papers from that safe just 2 seconds after you planted them there. Then you played shock and anger for Sky's benefit, and for mine. And Sky reacted exactly the way you wanted him to. He was intimidated, willing to do anything you asked to get off the hook.
Oh, really? Now, why would I do that, Mike?
To force Raven to cooperate, that's why. You wanted that phone book so desperately. You decided any means would justify the end.
All right. You're right. I won't try and lie to you. That's exactly what I did and why. And that's all it was, a distorted sense of duty.
Edge of Night is brought to you by Pampers. America's mothers trust their babies to Pampers Dryness. And by Safeguard Deodorant Soap. People like Safeguard so much it's always the smallest soap in the house.
Just because I rode away for a free bar of Safeguard doesn't mean everyone else can use it.
Give me a break, Dad. One try and I was hooked on the lather. Anyway, it's a free bar.
Yeah. Why should you be the only one who gets all that Safeguard deodorant soap protection? I tried it. I liked it. I need it.
And don't forget, the fresh scent.
Well, what about these soaps you paid good money for?
They just don't have that combination of rich lather and great protection like Safeguard does. Here, it's a little small.
Better a small Safeguard than no Safeguard.
See for free how great Safeguard is. Write free Safeguard, Post Office Box 8000, Clinton, Iowa, for a bat-sized bar coupon. Then watch Safeguard become the smallest soap in your house.
Have I got great news for babies? I'm delivering a remarkable new diaper. New fitted Pampers with stay-dry gathers.
Pampers are fitted? That's terrific.
Now they help protect your baby from wetness right down to his toes. Pampers' new stay-dry gathers mean a drier baby outside the diaper.
And fitted Pampers still has the cushion quilted lining?
Yep, that helps keep baby dry inside the diaper.
That's wetness protection, right down to his toes.
New fitted Pampers at a Pampers price.
Who can resist that?
New fitted Pampers with stay-dry gathers helps protect your baby against wetness right down to his toes. Yep, it's a great time to be a baby.
Nicole, this is a list of the questions I'm going to ask you in court and the answers I'd like you to memorize. I'm sorry to burden you with all this now, but it's only a few days till trial, and I think we better go over it in detail.
That's all right, Cliff. I understand all that.
I think the main imperative from now on is that we all go into that courtroom with a unified sense of purpose and ideas. That way you'll know everything we're trying to do. We don't want any surprises.
Yes, of course.
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
As you can see, everything we do in court is calculated down to the finest point, every step of the way.
It has to be.
Those answers and the actions I've indicated that I want you to do in there are designed to make the jury think that your guilt, well, I don't want to use that word, let's say your action was the result of strong human passion. Passion that any member of the jury would feel if they were in the same situation.
Cliff feels very strongly, and so do I, that the key to the defense is to create empathy with the jury. Even at the risk of drawing lots of objections from the prosecution, to some degree, we have to put Nora Fulton on trial, too.
Well, while we're on the subject of the prosecution, I think I better prepare you for this. This guy's name is Max Harwood. And he's going to head up the prosecution team, and he's a real barracuda. I mean, this is this guy's first big case. He's going to try and make a name for himself. So, he's going to object to everything in sight. Now, I don't want you to get upset. You can notice the answers here. We've prepared for all of that.
Who's the presiding judge?
Judge Charles Marcus. He's a tough old bird, but he's fair. He won't take any nonsense from young Mr. Harwood. Or from young Mr. Nelson either, for that matter.
We're not going to have any difficulty putting Nora Fulton on trial, if that's what you want. There must be at least a dozen people in this town who'd be willing to testify about her psychotic behavior.
Well, I've got them all lined up to testify. In fact, Miles, I'd like you to testify, too.
Oh, Cliff, is that really necessary?
I think it is.
You know how I feel about it. I think I ought to be testifying against myself.
Please, let's not go into that again.
Look, Miles, first of all, you've got to do exactly what we say, or else I'm not going to put you on the stand. I mean, I have to know exactly what you're going to say and exactly how you're going to say it. I can't afford to have any surprises in court.
Let me at least say this.
Look, I would appreciate if you would say only what's written here. Now, don't worry. It's the truth.
It is not the truth. I happen to be the only person who seems to be willing to face the truth.
Okay, cut it out, will you, Miles? We've all heard that before. Now, I can't put you on the stand and have you go off on some tangent. Now, we've got a battle plan here. We've got to follow it. And if you're not willing to do that, I'm not going to put you on the stand. Period.
Let's all just relax, okay? We've been over this subject enough.
I think that's a very good idea. We are not adversaries, after all.
All right,
we are all on the same team.
I'm sorry, Cliff. I am sorry.
It's all right, Miles. Now is the time in all trials when everyone gets a little uptight.
Let's just have a timeout. Let's have some coffee.
I'll help you.
Dee Dee, did you see Jody by any chance tonight?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we did. Right before we came over here, she was at the Rock Garden.
Oh, I'm glad. I'd much rather see her there than at the disco.
That depends upon who she's with.
I tell you, what are they killing the cow in the back? Where is the food? I am starving.
Oh, here she is. I'm really sorry.
Oh. Let me ask you a question, fast food queen. Is this liver and onions?
Absolutely.
I ordered pot roast. Here.
Oh my gosh. It's table 4. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm very sorry about this. I think I'm a little messed up tonight, you know.
Well, you mess up through life, don't you, huh?
Let's see what's the matter. Oh, it's Poppy. You know, she got this letter from Damien today, and she's been crying her eyes out ever since. And so I'm having to wait on my tables, and I'm having to wait on her tables. I'm having to wait on all the tables in between sobs. It's a mess.
Hey, that's a real moving story. Why don't you move your little self back to the kitchen and find out about my food? I'm hungry, all right?
You're not going to be mad, are you?
Why? No, I'm not going to be mad. Why should I be mad?
There's no pot roast.
So what about the London broil? Well, don't tell me. I know I got to wait for it to get here from London, right? Huh?
Of course not. It's here.
Boy, that girl is not wrapped too tight, you know what I mean?
Well, she's just a little distracted. Actually, she's a very bright girl.
With her switch on dim, though, right?
No, you just have to get to know Mitzi, that's all. Her connections with the world are different from everybody else's. She's, definitely marching to a different drummer.
Yeah, with 2 broken drumsticks, right? You know, I can tell that girl don't like me, you know that?
Oh, why do you say that?
I mean, messing up my order like that. What is she doing, trying my patience or something?
Mitzi messes up everybody's order. It's sort of a hobby with her.
Yeah, well, I can tell when a chick don't like me, because all of them do, you know what I mean?
Oh, preacher, you are just a legend in your own mind, aren't you?
Hey, baby, I don't go for all that humble stuff, but I know why she don't like me. That's because I had a scrap with a boyfriend at the disco the other night.
No, she's not the kind to hold a grudge.
Well, I'm having a real hard time trying to make points with your friends and your family, Jody.
I don't know why you say that.
Well, I mean, I know you dig me and everything, right? But I'm not winning any kind of popularity contest with your folks or with your friends.
You know, I think that you're being a little oversensitive and maybe even a little paranoid.
Well, you think I'm just imagining it, right?
Right.
All right, let's prove it. Why don't you let me take you home to the penthouse tonight, huh?
Was no bargain at all.
Ellen Peacock bought a bargain brand baby shampoo.
I thought it was going to be just as gentle as Johnson's baby shampoo. I used it, and it was a fiasco. It stung my baby's eyes, and he cried.
They may say baby shampoo, but many bargain brands sting, irritate eyes. Only Johnson says no more tears.
Johnson's is no more tears. You feel good as a mother using it. I won't buy anything else.
Another can, Charlie. That's a can?
It's hefty steel sack, the bag that works like a can.
It's plastic.
It's made of a plastic formula called Linear D.
Linear D.
So strong and puncture-resistant, steel sack can hold more than ordinary bags.
Even impossible trash?
Without split.
Without splitting. That's some bag, Charlie.
Strong.
Like a can.
Hefty steel sack trash and tall kitchen bags. The bag that works like a can.
It's you. Hi.
Yeah. Listen, you got some room for me here tonight?
Well, of what table? Why don't you just hunt yourself down a seat and I'll find you.
Okay, sure.
I'll see you. Okay, Gunther, here is a menu for you. There is no pot roast.
Oh, hey. I don't care.
You just take a look at that and I'll get your order in a minute.
Hey, wait a minute. Talk to me for a second, will you?
Gunther, I really don't have any time, and my partner isn't feeling well, and I'm running this place all by myself tonight.
Come on now. You can spare a little time for an old friend, can you?
What? Okay, but we gotta talk fast, okay?
Okay. Well, what's the matter with your partner?
Well, she's just feeling a little blue tonight, you know.
Yeah, well, I guess we got something in common then, because I'm feeling a little blue myself tonight. You gonna ask me why?
Why are you feeling blue tonight?
Well, I've been thinking about myself lately, Mitzi. About my life and myself.
How's it going?
Well, that's just it. I don't know. I'm just wondering if maybe I'm really happy, you know?
You can't tell?
No? Are you really happy?
Yeah, often.
Oh, well, guess you're lucky. But me, well, I've been thinking that, well, maybe I'm getting a little too old to lead the kind of life I've been leading lately.
What kind of life is that?
Oh, come on, you know, chasing around every night.
Yeah.
That was okay when I was a young guy, but, I don't know, after a while it gets kind of boring, you know, and you begin to think maybe you need something a little more in life.
Gunther, I know exactly what you mean.
You do?
Yes, and I think I can tell you something that'll be a big help.
Oh, great.
You should get a dog.
Dog?
Absolutely, Gunther, they're terrific. I used to have one, and it was wonderful to come home to one. You know, they greet you with love. They don't ask any questions.
Yeah, I know, but you got to walk them 3 or 4 times a day, you know, and well, it's not what I had in mind. Listen, there comes a time when every guy has got to settle down, you know.
Well, Gunther, I think if that's what you want to do, you should do it. I think it's a wonderful idea. Go for it, big fella.
Good.
Look that over, and I'll be right back.
Wait a minute, I'm not finished. Hey, look, what I'm trying to tell you is that, you know, a guy can't settle down until he finds the person that he wants to settle down with. Right?
Right?
Well, anyways, I think I found that person. It's you, baby cakes. I know, you can't believe it, right? And you're probably overwhelmed. But listen, I'm asking you to marry me. Our love was meant to be.
It was evening when the Moore sisters discovered something beautiful.
What a joy, Fred. Our dishes shine.
Without towel drying.
All this smells lemony, too.
The Clarks also discovered it.
Hey, shiny dishes without towel drying?
Uh-huh. Lemon Fresh Joy is different. With other leading brands, we'd usually get dirty-looking spots. With Joy...
Dishes dry practically spot-free without a towel.
Fact is, other leading brands can dry leaving spots. Joy's unique anti-spotting formula lets dishes dry practically spot-free, down to the shine.
Gorgeous shine.
Without a towel.
What a joy.
Discover Lemon Fresh Joy for a beautiful shine without a towel.
Who can resist a fingerful of frosting? Now Duncan Hines introduces the first two-finger frosting.
Two-finger frosting from Duncan Hines. Tastes even better on your cake.
Try new Duncan Hines creamy frosting. It's two-finger good.
Why the long face?
Mommy's mad
How come?
because I didn't brush my teeth yet.
And why is she mad at that?
Because
She only wants what's good for you. Come on. Now see this? Advanced formula Crest gives even more protection than the Crest we grew up on.
So,
Mommy knows you could get even fewer cavities than we did. Now, isn't she a meanie?
yes.
With Crest, your kids could have even fewer cavities than you did.
So, what do you think?
Well, I think it's the only way to go, the way they have it all outlined for us.
They certainly are thorough, if nothing else.
Yes, but they're very logical, too. If they can make the jury understand what Nora was like, then they'll also understand what I did.
There's only one problem with that. You didn't do it.
Please, Miles, I'm going to ask you for the last time, don't say that again.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Remember John Willard Emerson?
You certainly do.
Hey, forget the formal introduction. My name is Preacher, all right?
Well, won't you just
Sure.
sit down?
Make myself at home, you know, comfortable.
Can we offer you a drink?
No, Doctor, I never touch that stuff. You know, if drinking don't kill, a hangover will. I'm a health freak, you know what I mean?
Health freak, are you really? Interesting.
Well, we were having dinner at the Rock Garden tonight, and Preacher decided to bring me home.
Well, that's nice.
That's a hot little joint they got there, you know. I mean, the food is all right, but the service stinks, you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Stinks, yeah.
We've never noticed that. Have we, Miles?
No, we haven't. How's the disco coming?
Oh, man, that's on the money, man. That's a great little operation they got there, you know. I mean, every month the profits keep getting bigger and bigger. And I don't mean to say this, but I think it's because of me the place is where it is today, you know, and that's a fact, Jack.
I'm sure it is.
Hey, listen, now that we're all here, I'd just like to say that I'm sorry about our last meeting, that it wasn't too cool, that I really hope that I didn't get on your nerves or nothing like that.
No, we've already forgotten about it, haven't we, Miles?
Uh-huh. Well, that's great, man. Thanks a lot. You know, it's a real comfortable place you got here, and it's really nice. I mean, I could hang out here for days. Only, makes me feel a little uptight, you know what I mean?
Why?
Well, I'm not used to nothing like this. I mean, all my life, I never had more than 50 bucks in my pocket. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I ain't gonna make it big one day, you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Oh, you're damn right I will. I could be an overnight success tomorrow if I wanted. That's why I think you and the doctor better start looking at me a little different. Because I think I'm gonna be somebody you're gonna be seeing an awful lot of. Catch my drift? Huh?
Nancy, I've known all along that Schuyler wasn't guilty of the charge of treason. I've never been able to understand how and why he became so heavily involved. Now I do. David Cameron plays a very rough game.
He certainly does.
And Schuyler's been wrong all along. It wasn't Ian Devereaux who framed him.
Exactly. It's David Cameron, if Mike is right, and I frankly think he is.
It's the most despicable thing I've ever encountered. I can't wait for Mike to verify it. Schuyler must be informed as soon as possible.
To think all along those charges were false. It's no wonder he's been under such a strain.
It's not only Schuyler. I've been thinking about Raven and her supreme sacrifice. For what? It's appalling.
What? Hello, David.
Nancy? Sorry I wasn't here when you arrived, Geraldine. You know David Cameron, I believe.
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Saxon?
Nancy, David came back here with me because there's something he'd like to say.
Well, before you do, I think you should know that I've told Mrs. Saxon what Mike has discussed with you.
Well, that's just as well. Perhaps it will enable me to explain and make amends.
It isn't likely.
Look, I know how bitter you all feel about what I've done. Especially you, Mrs. Saxon, because your nephew has been a victim. I want you to know that I am not proud of my behavior. I believe I've expressed that to the cars on another occasion. But I have always performed my job with one thing and one thing only in mind. The needs of the country come first, above and beyond anything or anyone else. That's the basis for everything I've done, including framing Schuyler Whitney.
Then you admit it?
Yes, and I'd do it again if I had to.
Good Lord. Deliver me from people like you. Isn't your country you're thinking about? Not what you have in mind, it's yourself. And making a name for yourself. It's power and prestige and commendations, even if it means using innocent bystanders like my nephew, Raven Alexander and Valerie Bryson. Yes, and Mike and Nancy Carr.
Well, that's a very brave speech, Mrs. Saxon. But unfortunately, the one thing you civilians fail to understand is there is no honor in my business, only results. Now, I am sorry, but I haven't changed my point of view. But I am still asking you, all of you, not to reveal a word of this to anyone. Not until we have recovered the most vital document in America's entire espionage system. It's for the sake of the security of the United States. I'm asking you to remain silent.
Don't miss Sears Spring Home Sale for sensational savings. Save $50 to $300 on most Sears sofa sleepers. Get free lining with the purchase of any custom drapery fabric. Save 30 to 50% on a selection of custom fabrics, horizontal and vertical blinds, and woven woods. Plus half-price nylon pile carpeting in limited quantities. Because of a special arrangement with the Carpet Mill, this regular $29.99 carpeting is only $14.99. Now it's Sears Spring Home Sale.
Pop in the spring, it's in the air. Go hot with Goolagong Active Wear. You're in for a change at Sears. Go hot, go Goolagong. Terry tops, sporty shorts, warm up
Take a walk down memory lane with TV's favorite families on The Family Feud. Join Richard Dawson.
Hi, babe.
And your old friends from the Brady Bunch. Petticoat Junction, Your Hit Parade, and Leave It to Beaver. Coming next week on ABC.
David, I am just as concerned as you are over the security of this country, and so is Mike, and heaven knows, no one could be more concerned than Geraldine. I mean, she's devoted her entire life to what she believes in.
I have no doubts of that. That's not what's at issue here.
I think you've lost sight of the issue, David. We're talking about people. Human beings whose lives have been damaged, maybe permanently, because of your tactics.
And I agree with Nancy. I can't think of any justification for making Sky Whitney suffer for something he didn't do.
And if you don't tell my nephew at once, Mr. Cameron, I will.
All right. All right, I'm not going to argue with you. I will tell Skylar Whitney the truth. But let me do it in my own way, please. Let me make sure that at least he'll give us a chance to have the plan continue. It'll mean the difference between success and failure. Please.
I'll agree to that, reluctantly.
Thank you. I'll call him at once. I would like to do it privately, if I may.
All right, why don't you use that phone? We'll leave you alone.
Yes, Mr. Whitney, please. David Cameron calling. Mr. Whitney, David Cameron. I must see you tonight. At once. It's urgent.
The outdoor life can give you problem hair. That's why I use Wella Balsam shampoo. Wella Balsam takes care of problem hair like no other shampoo I've tried.
Wella Balsam's exclusive oil-free formula eliminates dryness and flyaways. Laboratory tests against these fine shampoos prove Wella Balsam is superior in taking care of split ends.
Try Wella Balsam shampoo and Wella Balsam conditioner. You'll turn problem hair into beautiful hair.
Tomorrow, Henry butts in to keep an old friend from marrying a girl far too young on Too Close for Comfort. Then Sam and Molly's confidence is shaken when he's out-diagnosed by a computer and her star witness disappears on It Takes Two. After, Barbara Walters interviews the parents of attempted presidential assassin John Hinckley, and Tom Jarrell reports on the rise and decline of Hugh Hefner's Playboy empire on 2020.
Tonight, A Battered Wife.
What are you doing?
Sorensen Finds Love.
The room is all yours.
A Second Chance.
I'm so scared.
Lions 4. Then, John Ritter hosts a look at her prize collection of public boo-boos. Life's most embarrassing moments. Tonight, following coverage of the presidential address, all starting at 8/7.
Macy's one-day sale happens this Thursday with unheard-of values on every Sealy, Simmons, Serta, Posturepedic, Perfect Sleeper, and Beauty Rest mattress and box spring at Macy's.
Good afternoon, I'm Ernie Anastas. Coming up today at 5:30, the New York City Board of Education is meeting right now to select a new school's chancellor. We'll have the latest, and we'll have this.
People have lined up outside Madison Square Garden for tickets to the first Bowie concert in years. I'm Will Spence. I'll have that story.
Also, a possible new treatment for acne. Katie Kelly reviews a scary-sounding movie called Evil Dead, and our...
to luxury wide bodies.
Wednesday. Richard Burke. Movie stars, murder, and mayhem. These stuntmen, they're a breed of their own. The Fall Guy. Then A Battered Wife.
What are you doing?
Sorensen Finds Love.
It's all yours.
A Second Chance.
I'm so scared.
Ryan's 4. And, we've all had them. Now it's time to share them. John Ritter hosts a look at a prize collection of public boo-boos. Life's most embarrassing moments. Tonight.
Coming next week on The Feud, take a walk down memory lane with TV's favorite family. Join Richard Dawson.
Hi, babe.
And your old friends from the Brady Bunch. Petticoat Junction, Your Hit Parade, and Leave It to Beaver. and on All My Children.
I've never stopped loving you. I'm sorry for all the bad things.
An intimate moment to turn to love.
I want you.
Family Feud special, All My Children. Weekdays.
Terrific chicken and rice. Terrific chicken and rice. Terrific chicken and... Where's the rice?
Not so terrific, Mrs. Lamont. It came out wrong and took 25 minutes.
Should have used minute rice for perfect rice every time in 5 minutes. Minute rice always turns out right. So light and fluffy and
delicious.
Perfect every time. Now your dish
It's going to be perfect in 5 minutes.
Minute rice. Perfect rice in 5 minutes.
The new Smurf See and Save phone lets your kids imagine they're talking to Smurfs. Smurf See and Save phone.
This is Smurfette speaking. I think you're real Smurfy. You do? I'm Gargamel, and I hate Smurfs. It's for you.
Hi, this is Clumsy Smurf speaking. What?
The Smurf See and Save phone, complete with the voices of 10 true blue friends, new from Mattel.